Alright, we're changing it up a little bit now. Career mode got messed up. There was an update that made the files just not work, so nothing would load in-game properly. So I've just decided that I'm going to come up with some other things and challenges to do anyways, because it kind of seemed like we did what we wanted and we could do whatever we needed to, and so now we're going to do a different challenge, and that is we're going to stay in Nebraska. We are starting off in Fremont, or not Fremont, where the hell are we? Falls City, Nebraska. And so we're down in the southeastern corner. We're going to take off and go to the nearest airport. And then we're going to land there and go to the nearest airport. And bounce around to the nearest airport wherever it takes us. Obviously not repeating airports. So there could be a place where we get to one side of the state and have to go pretty far to get to a place that we haven't been to. But, yeah, we'll see where this takes us. And right now, our first one up is 5NE2, 2,000 foot runway. And it is just a farm strip in Schubert, Nebraska. So we will go ahead and, can we direct there? Yep, cool, alright. That is where we're going. So right now we're down here. We're going to fly up here. Not going a whole long ways, but I'm guessing the next place we'll be going to is Auburn after that. But there may be a farm strip that we're not seeing. So let's go done with that. And click that off. Not that we really need to use the GPS to get there, but make sure that everything is working, because it has been a bit since I've flown. I've got it set to like 8 a.m. in the morning, March 28th. We are, just hop out this way and run into the prop. We are in the 185. It'll get us in and out of where we need to go pretty easy. And you know what, while I was out there I should have looked for, do we have, yeah, so it looks like we're going to be taking off to the south. Alright, let's try to remember how to fly and go short hop around Nebraska until I get bored with that. There's so, like, I think there's like 90 public airports, or maybe it's 95 total airports, but I know there's a lot of airports in Nebraska because, well, you can just stick an airport wherever you want with all the flat ground. Pretty easy to do. So we're going to take this thing and just kind of bounce around and look at the world. What has happened there? Jesus, I have no idea what happened there. All of a sudden the plane just went to the right. That's not good. But yeah, apparently my grandpa had a 185. And it is now someplace up in Canada and maybe has been turned into a float plane. It's like just north of Toronto is where I traced it to. Sadly, I couldn't find any pictures of it now. Searched pretty hard, you know, looking at trying to find the owners, Facebook and Instagram and all of that, just to see, because pilots love to take photos of their airplane, and wasn't able to actually find the person. And then all the planes on site at the airport, or at least at the airport I think it's at, None of them had the tail number that it had changed to. But I think the longest part of these trips is just going to be the back taxiing after landing. We're going to land, we're not going to do touch and goes. That way I can double check that we haven't been to somewhere, because as we get into this, it's going to get kind of hard to keep track of everything. We're just going to roll out though. We've already taken off from here when I was doing career mode. But we flew all the way up to Millard on that. I'm gonna have to kind of get adjusted to this plane as well, trying to figure it out. I've flown it a little bit, but don't know a whole lot about how it flies. Alright, we're at 1,500. That's all we're gonna really need. Do some low flying here. I don't even think we have autopilot, so the short hop's gonna be just fine for this setup. And I might change planes as I go. Each video might be with a different plane. We just caught all that wind now. But some of these farm strips may be very difficult to find if they're not defined all that well. I mean, hell, that looks like a place we could land right there. There's the airport. Get back on course, and we are 6 miles out. I don't know if I've actually landed this plane. And tail draggers, I am not very good at landing, so could be very, very interesting what happens here. But we got the highway. Haven't been down to Fall City in a while. You go around this bend, head back to the main highway that gets you down here. It is practically Missouri down here. Alright, so should be coming up on it. We've done about 2 miles since I looked, so we're probably 4 miles out. Which means we are looking at estimation somewhere up in here. Actually sooner. This actually looks like a fairly rich farm right here. Could possibly be around this point. It's looking like off this direction. Oh, I think I see it over there. Could it be that? I think it is. Or that's just a road. Double check over this way. It's actually showing off this way now. Oh, this is going to be very difficult to find. Yeah, that was just a road. We're looking... Is that it? Alright, let's zoom in. And even that may not do anything for us. No, that's not what I want. Zoom in. Alright. Circle around here. Oh, we are stalling out of it. I think it is actually this little strip right here. Click flaps. I could be totally wrong, but it's lining up just right. Yeah, I think that is it. Ooh. Big bounce. It's alright. We're down, I think. Alright, well, we found it. Not much of anything, as expected. And now we go to the next nearest, which is going to be most likely K01, and it is. That is Auburn, Nebraska. Let's put that in. Get off of there. Let's get a little bit more room to get taken off. So I did land that really, really long. A few too many bounces. Yeah, so just a grass strip up a tiny hill. We're going to be encountering a lot of those. But let me add this to our list, because that was 5NE2. And now we're going to K01. Get my controls back here. Which is kind of weird that Auburn is K01. So that's like, should be a Kansas. And we're going north from here to get to it, so it's definitely not a border. Alright, well, one down. Some 90 to 100 to go. Just out in a pivot. Alright, so this one I really don't need GPS to get to because... wow, the wind really caught the wing when I got it tipped over. We're headed in this direction. How far out are we? We are 13 miles out. Wow, we are trucking here. Alright, so we got a little tower off to our left here. I think that's taking you up to Brownsville. I think the highway's actually this next mile over. Yeah, we're definitely landing to the south everywhere we go today. Yep, here's the highway. Not the highway that takes you to Auburn. But we are flying over, what is that town? Probably the... no, it's not Stromsburg, is it? I said it already because it was the name listed for the last airport we were at. Schubert. I think that was Schubert. Yeah, that was Schubert. So as we get a little further away from Missouri, that's going to help us. And I don't know. I don't know if we're going to just go up 75 or if we're going to catch a airport that is slightly west and it just starts dragging us to the west. Really have no idea where NRST is going to take us. That's kind of why I want to do this, just to get some random directions and go. But I kind of knew Auburn was the most likely candidate for us getting next, just because there's not a whole lot down here. But then it looks like we've got possibly a grass strip to the west that is closer than what would be north of us, which would be Nebraska City. There's our airport, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be close on Nebraska City or Tecumseh on what is nearest. But we got a paved runway here. We could probably get some information. Almost 4,000 feet. Oh, that's for Auburn. All right. Farrington Field. Said. But that is our runway. That is Auburn. It's actually been a bit since I've been in Auburn. Last time I was in Auburn, I got pulled over coming down that stupid overpass into town. Just the speed limit changes and they set up a trap down there. Thankfully, I just got a warning. But runway is about the same direction as where we took off from in Falls City. Gonna have a little bit of a crosswind. You can see how it's just pushing us to the right now. Maybe a grass strip on here as well. That would put us into the wind better. We'll go ahead and land on the pavement. All right. Just bleeding off a little bit of speed as we get more into the wind. Give me a click of flaps. Will just hopefully make a smooth landing. FBO is a bit of a taxi, especially if you're landing this direction and have to use the whole runway. Oh man. Alright. Yeah, this is gonna be annoying. Crosswind with the tail dragger. I'm gonna struggle. Ooh, it has not registered that there's a runway here and has put grass over it. Okay, wasn't expecting to see that. We're getting a gravel runway. Oh man, come on. That was ugly. I mean, we're still bouncing. Well, we found a broken airport. I mean, at least it wasn't too rough, but I essentially made it rough with how many bounces I did there. I don't know what it is about tail draggers. I cannot land the damn things. So yeah, I think next video will be in something else. But I think we got one more hop in us. Let's go ahead and start looking at nearest, which is going to be Nebraska City by just a few miles, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. Alright, 77NE is a helipad. We were just there. Yep, Nebraska City. Just beats out Tecumseh by like 3 miles. Again, this one will be a fairly easy one to find because we just go north, which is going to take us then probably to Plattsmouth. Actually, Weeping Water has one that could drag us off in a different direction. But yeah, most likely we're going to be going up through Omaha, Offutt, Epley, Millard, North Omaha. So, but I'm definitely going to get me a tricycle plane. There we go. Alright, that got a little awkward. So, off to Nebraska City we go. Should just be able to follow the highway up. Auburn's also a weird town with, you know, like most in Nebraska, you can just do squared off city blocks. And for some reason, Auburn, in the middle of it, has decided to just go at a complete angle for one road. Right there. Right off of downtown. And now up onto a hill. It's just really strange. There's that stupid overpass. Which means that we're over the highway. Which kind of bends around on its way back up to Nebraska City. Where did... oh, we're not going very direct, and we're zoomed in a ton. I don't think we need that much zoom in anymore. And actually, we just go here. We're 10.5 miles out. So we're just going to follow this bit up here. Highway's going to move over a mile. River, not too far away. Actually didn't realize how close the river actually is. And then you got Peru off that little highway spur over by the river, which is a weird little college town out in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska. There is our airport right there. Now, if this is accurate, which it is fairly accurate, the south end of the runway actually is like, I think they had to build up a hill for it, and kind of is elevated from everything around it. But yeah, that is the river. And then you got Iowa off over there. And there is our airport. And where we will get ourselves a new plane to fly. Maybe I can land this thing without too much problem. Doubtful though. Hopefully the runway's actually paved in game. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see that elevation from up here. Obviously, sticks out much more when you're on the ground. I did not realize they had a cross sod runway. Or do they? I don't know if that's supposed to be or not. Maybe it was a old short runway. Alright, well, let's back it down. Got a bit of elevation to lose here. Pull off some speed as we do it. Come to a standstill. So yeah, this is for the area a fairly large runway. Nebraska City is not that big of a city, but there is some money. So looks like we got a lot of extra trees, though, along taxiways for some reason. This thing turned. It is really fighting. Really hot. That crosswind is just kicking my ass. Oh my god. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. Actually, did we have a little... Is it full cross? Okay, yeah, it was still full cross, so It is just brutal. Yeah, all those trees should not be there, obviously. Okay, well, we're on the ground. The wind is ridiculous, though. I don't even think it's... I guess it was pretty strong today, so it makes sense. But that takes us to Nebraska City. And, yeah, I think that is where we'll end this video. And we'll continue on with a different plane, so that maybe I don't look so terrible, but I think the crosswind is just gonna be mean to me all day. So, yeah, we'll just continue on from here, and just trying something different for content. I think this will be interesting, especially as we get further west. But there you go. Nebraska City, so we've made it, like, not very far. We've went from here to here. So, not a whole lot of Nebraska covered, but when you're stopping every 7-10 miles, that's going to slow things down. So, thanks for watching.